Blood on the Bayous is supported in part by Dr. B.B. Trotter from Abilene, Texas, and the Fort Butler Foundation. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Don Frazier, and we continue the story of the Civil War in Louisiana and Texas. Well, after Richard Taylor's September raid into the sugar parishes and the scuffle at Booty Station, the capture of the Union outpost at Des Allemands, he understands that he really needs to get a Confederate force in there if he is going to be able to bring Louisiana back into the Confederacy. Clearly, the militia is going to be a little uneven. The Federals also understand that the clock is ticking, and they'd better do something to find out what the Confederates are up to in the sugar parishes. On September 22nd through the 24th, they once again bring the 21st Indiana to Donaldsonville, but this time instead of just sacking the town, which of course happens again, the 21st Indiana marches down Bayou Forest looking for a fight. Now they find one near St. Emma Plantation. They swap shots with the 2nd Louisiana Cavalry, very few casualties, but clearly the Federals are starting to poke around to determine how big a threat these new Confederates, this new Confederate general, is going to be in the sugar parishes. Richard Taylor is going to be a threat. And what he does next is pretty important and instructive. He finally gets the 18th Louisiana Infantry, the 24th Louisiana Infantry, the 28th Louisiana Infantry is on its way down from Monroe. He gets the Yellow Jacket Battalion kind of in some sort of fighting shape. He's also organized a couple of artillery batteries to also join into this new forming Confederate Army. Finds a general, Alfred Mouton. Alfred Mouton was a native of what was in Vermilionville. We know it today as Lafayette. And also the son of Governor Mouton, who had presided over the Louisiana Secession Convention. So Alfred Mouton is a native son. Now, he's been shot a few times. He got shot up at the Battle of Shiloh, and he was out of commission for a while, but now he's back in fighting trim. He'll come into Louisiana, and he will command Confederate ground forces on behalf of General Taylor. General Taylor will stay up in Alexandria and essentially coordinate all the efforts in this district, while Mouton handles the operations on the ground. So there is a Confederate force forming, and the Federals understand what this means. There's another thing that Taylor is doing to help build the infrastructure of the military infrastructure of Confederate Louisiana. He establishes leather shops, places where you can make shoes and harness and belting in various depots across the state. He also organizes fortifications to help protect the waterways of Louisiana. One, Fort Beauregard, will protect the Washita River. Fort DeRussy on the Red, Butte La Rose on the Chaffalia, and also the fortifications protecting Brashier City from any approaches from the Gulf of Mexico. Helping him coordinate all this is a logistician magician by the name of Joseph L. Brent. Brent has come with him from Virginia, and he knows how to put together the sinews of war, if you will. He also organizes a gunboat flotilla. CSS Webb, a former icebreaker, is operating on the Red River, and it's a stout vessel, now armed. He has the J.A. Cotton, which is now being converted into a gunboat on Bayou Teche. Also, there's transports and other vessels supporting this Confederate effort. So Taylor understands that it's not just about men with muskets, but it's men with muskets who are well supplied with food and ammunition. So he's getting all of that built. That tapestry is being woven. He orders Mouton to take these Confederate regiments into the sugar parishes and Mouton does. Operating out of Thibodeaux, they fan out, and the Federals understand, all right, there's been a shift in power down there along Bayou La Force. They back off. And for about the next month, the Confederates are unopposed in that part of Louisiana. The other thing that Taylor does, though, while the Confederates are in place up and down Bayou La Force, is he orders all of the Sugar Parish militias out of the region. They all have to cross Berwick Bay and report for duty at Camp Pratt outside of New Iberia. They comply. These guys have already been blooded at in the Bayou des Allemands raid. These guys understand that they are Confederates, or they're supporting the Confederate effort. When they show up at Camp Pratt, they receive some shocking news. They're told that they are going to be broken up. These militia regiments will be broken up, and the men will be shipped off to different theaters of war. They will be used to reinforce Louisianans in Virginia, in Tennessee, and in Mississippi. They're being taken out of the state. Taylor looks around and says, all right, now what do we got? How many men do we have? He figures that he has about 4,000 or so Confederate troops at his disposal. There's another about 1,500 that are absent on detached duty or on furlough. The thing that troubles him is that he's looking at the militia rolls and he's looking at the regimental rolls, and there's about 8,000 men who just have disappeared. They didn't show up for work, if you will. And so he understands that there is still a long way to go to make the idea of a Confederate nation stick in Louisiana. Even so, just 2 months after his arrival in Alexandria, Richard Taylor has done more than anybody else to bring Louisiana back into the Confederacy.